Okay, so I know I'm supposed to be playing games. Oh no, but I sneakily looked at day 8 and it looks suspiciously simple. Parse a line, digit by digit, and make a series of layers, and then find the layer that contains the fewest zeros, and then do some analysis on that layer. Sounds easy enough, especially considering we're going to get this as a string. And a string we can just turn into an iterator of characters using chars. So that's how we can pop those characters off and get a digit. And then chars, we can parse. Chars, there we go. We can parse using convert to a char to 2-digit. There we go. We give it a radix, which in this case is going to be 10, and we'll be all good. So we have a string. Let layers be equal to. Now I've already written a test. It's going to be build image on input string, and the size is going to be 25. It's the width of a row by the number of rows. So number of columns times the number of rows. Right, so build image. It's going to take data, which is a ref stir. It's going to take the width as a use size, and it's going to take height as a use size, and it's going to return a vec. Is that true? Let's make some types. So type row is a vec of size. It's going to make life a bit easier. Type layer is a vec of row, and type image, vec of layer. Cool. Which means this is going to return an image. Now, these are just aliases, and they behave as per normal. So I could say let A, being a row, be equal to vec 1, 2, 3, and that would be absolutely fine. Right, so what we want to do is let mut r is equal to an image new. And again, we get that for free. That's actually just a vec. Then we want to create a new layer. New layer is new layer and a new row. Cool. For x in data, chars map char C to digit 10 unwrap. Yes, that's fine. Doop. So we're going to have a let mut w is 0, let mut h is 0, and we're going to do all of our pushing operations at the end of the loop. So it's going to be once we increment and match our numbers. So it's going to be row push x. Then we're going to go w plus equals 1. If w is exactly equal to width, then we're going to do layer push row. Row is a new row. Width becomes 0. Height goes up by 1. And then, is AI correct here? If h is equal to height, we're going to push layer and make a new layer inside. I think that should be fine. And then we are going to return image. What do you like about those? Provide a definition for the type. Do I need to? Is it equals instead of that? Ah, okay, right. Cool. What don't you like about that? Oh, that's a u32.unwrap.as iFiles. Cool. What do you like about image? Yeah, that's a type. What do we call it? R. So we could now test day 8. And that test passes. Perfect. Right. Now, the reason I'm building images instead of doing what I'm about to do is because I suspect for part 2 that we are going to need some images. Now, I think the easiest way to do this is going to be straight up in part 1. Part 1 is going to take, yeah, let's do that, and we'll return iSize because again I think something funky might be going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to say let maps be equal to hash vec vec new. We are going to use hash maps. God, it's like it can listen to me, or this is just a very well-known solution. Now, hash maps implement from iter. From iterator, kv. And there's a special one, which is an array. So if any maybe I did maybe I'm going to have to do this myself. I thought this would automatically count, but it's not going to. Okay, this doesn't do what I wanted it to do, but that's fine. We'll just do this anyway. So layers are going to be the first thing. Yeah, okay, first thing in the image. So what we're going to do is for layer in image. We are going to need to, we'd need to consume iterators. So let mute map equal. Actually, we can do this straight in the map. So it's going to be layer iter map, and we're going to get a row. And then in that row, we're going to do row iter, and now that's going to give us a vec of numbers. No, I don't think we can do this off an iterator. Maybe there is. I'm sure I've done this before, but I actually think we're going to have to do for row and layer. I want each layer to be a new map, so let mute map be equal to hash map new. For row in layer, we're just going to go for x in row, and then exactly that. So what this is going to say is it's going to go to our map, it's going to look up the key that is our number. If it doesn't exist, it's going to insert some default value, which is going to be 0, and then after it does that, it's going to take that key and it's going to do this operation. So the first one will insert a 0 and then increment it. And then at the end of this, I'm going to go maps.pushMap. Actually, we can do this all in one loop as well, can't we? Let mute in zeros is use like that. Let mute res is 0. We don't even need to push the maps. We don't even need to create a vec of them. So then what we're going to do, we'll create a little helper function. Fun count map. Map is a hash map. It's a reference to a hash map of I size, U size. Yeah, we may as well give it a target. Actually, yeah, because that will help. Expected use size found a reference to use size. Get target. Cool. So we want to let num. In fact, if count map 0 is less than min zeros, then we're going to update the results. Res is equal to, what is it? Number of 1 digits multiplied by the number of 2 digits. So count map on 1 times count map on 2, and then return res. What don't you like about this? Expect the reference hash map use size. What is this? It's 932. Why? I mean, okay. I mean, why did it end up building out of references? Because I did. Yeah, okay. Oh, fuck it. Doesn't really matter. Let's make it out of use sizes, please. Happier? Cool. What don't you like? And you should now be fine. Thank you. Still unhappy. Min zeros. I'm making I sizes because I expect it to be able to be negative. Okay. So there's layers, and let's let cool. You can go away. What do you like about that? Expected use size, found size. Yeah. Great. Are we calling this? Yes. Let's go. 1872. Bugger. Too low. Right. Let's see what is happening. Let me just make sure I've read this properly. Find the layer that contains the fewest 0 digits. On that layer, what is the number of 1 digits multiplied by the number of 2 digits? Okay. Straight out assigning that. So all of that logic should be fine. Now creating the map probably should be fine. So it's possible that this is wrong. Yeah, so that does exactly what I expected it to do. Well, let's see what happens if we test part 1. I knew I was going to do that. It's fine, always double space. Right. Data to string, image is build image. That already works. So this is going to result in a 1. Let's got res part 1 on image. Is part 1 passing at the 20? Where does the 25 and the 6 come from? That's from building it. Okay, fine. Yeah. assert equal got res 1. Okay, so far so good. Well, let's go and take a look then at what we got. I mean, this is going to be huge. So we've got 100 we have 100 rows. So we have 100 layers, and for each layer we are doing this calculation on the map. The map is layer specific. Yeah, this is just a pointer. We can't get followed. That's annoying. I forgot. Okay. Yep, that was done. Let's look at individual. In fact, no, let's go look at count map. Count mapula. Map. This is also not going to be helpful. It'll be super quick, he said. It'll be really easy, he said. Map is of size 3. Does the input only have 3 different digits? That's a pointer thing. Yeah, fine. I've never actually looked at what's in these. But anyway, I'm not going to get much useful out of that. Kind of just want to. I don't want to give it a default. Let's just panic. This shouldn't change anything. Right. Still 1872. I did actually put 1872 in, didn't I? Yeah, cool. Because I have done stupid mistakes before where I've just not actually put the answer in. In fact, yeah, okay, cool. It's too low, fine. Make sure you're using the full input data. I mean, I'd hope so. It's 25 pixels wide and 6 pixels tall. My counting maths is correct because the test image builder has worked. I guess I could quickly look at how many characters are in that file. In fact, I can do it here, can't I? What does len do on a string? Is it bytes, not chars? Right, okay. Although actually in this case, because they're only zeros, ones and twos, that should be perfectly fine. So we're expecting we had 100 layers of 25 by 6, which is 15000. 1, 2, 3. We're expecting 15,000. Yeah, okay, so we are using, well, yeah, okay, we don't know we're using the full input string. Just, we know we're getting one that is the same size as the image. And it's a conveniently correct looking size. Width is 25, height is 6. Are those numbers correct? Yes, I think they are. So, we start out with a max number of zeros. I could go change this, right? I could see what happens. So if I wanted you to be do a 2 there, then this should be equal to 2. Ooh. Good option unwrap on a none value. Well, that's telling. I mean, I know exactly where that is. It's on count map, isn't it? 936, yeah. Right, target is 0. Let's step out. That's the panic. So apparently we have no zeros in that map. Well, there definitely should be. So I wonder if it was taking that one previously. Right, can I do mappy stuff? Map. How did I do it before? I can't remember how you get things out. I would quite like to see that map. Can I do a print? Print map. No, okay. My inability to debug is now fully in the internet. Console is command. Prefix expressions with that. Right, okay. No. Right, okay. Can I do that? No, okay. I mean, this is just what's up there. There's no useful information coming out of this. Why does this map have no zeros? The first time this is being called, actually, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, which generally does not have no zeros. So unwrap or was just the right thing to do. And it will have no zeros. So, yes. Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, okay. So that now passes, which is the modified one. So if I change that to a 1, this should become a 4. So far, so good. Okay. Well, this is most perturbing. That still should be a 1. Yep. I wonder if it's a case of there may be multiple layers with the fewest 0 digits. And actually, I did a straight up less than, didn't I? What if it's less than or equal to min zeros? Because otherwise that would just take the first one. Does that change the value? 1872. No, it doesn't. We can get rid of that print. Why aren't you? What are the weird edge cases that could happen here? I've got to go for tea. Oh, min zeros is never being muted. Mutated. If count map is less than min zeros, it's just doing it for everyone. It's just making the roll. That right there we go. And you need to be strictly less than. Ooh, and that's the end of 25 minutes, hopefully. Perfect. Right, thus ends part 1 in the first video. That is a genuine part 1, part 1.